Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of the Final Fantasy Adventure. Last episode, Draven tried to rescue Badger from Julius' airship, but he was unsuccessful and got knocked off the airship and landed in this village, which was home to his friend Amanda, who he met back in the gladiator arena. Amanda's little brother, Lester, is a musician. He's playing a harp in a town called Jad. I used to hear a beautiful sound of harp over in Jad. Jad is at the north end of the desert, so it sounds like we know where we gotta go to. Jad, maybe we can find Amanda there. Amanda left with the pendant that Badger gave to Draven before he fell off the airship. Draven tried to get her out of the cell that she was in, but he couldn't get through the doors, so he decided he was going to sneak her out the window. But when he went to do that, Julius appeared, knocked him off with a fireball, so yeah, he's got to find some other way to find where Badger is. But first things first, you gotta get Badger's pendant back from Amanda, and it sounds like Amanda went to Jad, so we're gonna have to head over there. We don't know where Jad is. All we were told that it's in the desert, so hopefully somebody else can give us some more clues as to where we gotta go. Let's talk with these folks. What's wrong with Amanda lately? She's depressed. She also stole our pendant. The Book of Ice is hidden somewhere in the desert. It's going to be our new magic. Unlike the fire magic, ice doesn't deal damage to enemies, it just turns them into snowmen. It's mainly used for solving puzzles. And in the next dungeon that we go to, we're going to get an example of those puzzles. So, basically like, sometimes I use a chest to weigh down a switch. We used to see many chocobos around here. I saw an egg up in the forest up north. What we'll have to do is like turn someone into a snowman and then push them onto the switch. You okay, boy? You're in Minos. Amanda left the village earlier this morning. So we're gonna stop in here. We can buy a new weapon, the spear, the wind spear. So, it's a little bit stronger than your silver sword, but more enemies are immune to it. When the gauge fills up, it allows you throw the spear kind of like how you throw the axe. So, it has a little bit better range though than the sword, so we'll be using it. But for now, we're going to head up to the north. To the west there is the desert that we were told that where Jad is. But first we're going to head up this way because we were told there's a chocobo in the forest to the north. So we're going to head up that way first and see if we can get this chocobo. We don't have to get him now, but might as well grab him now. And here's the lake that we were at. Julius' airship was parked over there to the right. Alright. Yeah, those clouds are can't be damaged by the wind spear. So that's why I just kept the sword. Now if I had the spear equipped, I could probably reach that merman up there. Like I said, the spear has a slightly longer reach than the sword. But I don't want to keep switching my weapons back and forth. So we'll have to switch to the chain though. So, although this way leads to a dead end, but we'll try to take out this guy over here. These porcupines can drop gold, so dead end. But sell that for some money. Not that our money's much of a problem. Got some more experience, another level. We're gonna run into a bunch of more werewolves, so if you didn't grind levels before, there'll be a place pretty soon here where we can grind for some more levels with the werewolves. But I'm not gonna do that, so. But yeah, we got another screen with 4 werewolves. This one, 2 of them are stuck up into the plants up there, so pretty easy to grind off of them. We got some tough enemies here. They're really tough. You see, they take a lot of hit points there, so we're just gonna avoid them. We're kind of going into a new enemy domain area, so those enemies won't be until after like 2 dungeons mainly. See this egg over here? Wow, it's moving. What are you? It's a chocobo. Hey, don't follow me. You think I'm your mother? Okay, come with me. And now we have a chocobo. When you ask the chocobo, you get to ride the chocobo, and the chocobo runs faster than your character, and when you're on the chocobo, you're invincible. Nothing can hurt you. Then just to dismount the chocobo, just hit ask again. So the chocobo will follow you around, except it does not go into dungeons or towns. When that happens, you have to, the chocobo will stay outside, and then you have to touch the chocobo again, and the chocobo will be like, do you want to bring your chocobo with you? Otherwise, the chocobo will just stay at the screen where you left it, like the entrance to a dungeon or a town. But we're not going to ride the chocobo right now. We're mainly going to just keep walking so we can, there's some new enemies we want to fight, and we also want to get some experience. So, because enemies are starting to get a little bit tougher, starting to actually do some decent damage to us. So, as much experience as you can, we're going to get. Too bad these mermen don't give any experience. They give like 2 experience. So, here we saw what the spear does when thrown. Just goes all the way across the screen, just like how the axe does. So all these enemies we've all seen before, but we're going to run into quite a few new enemies when we get over into the desert. Some lizard-type enemies, and some scorpions. That makes sense. Actually, lizard and scorpions all make sense. So. A lot of status effects from these enemies we're going to see over here in the desert. So the scorpion there, it pops up its tail. The tail touches you, you get poisoned. So yeah, that's what happened to us there. Kind of annoying. Then we have these lizard enemies. They don't really do anything, so they're probably like the easiest enemies. Sometimes they drop a treasure chest that has nothing in it. Other times they drop a treasure chest that has a fang in it. And the fang is used for to get a clue onto how you get to the next dungeon. So you might want to farm for one of those fangs if it's your first time playing, but it's not necessary. So just finish this guy off with the spear. I don't think fire can hurt them. We got an inn here. Well, we're so close to 0 hit points. We might as well spend the night at the inn. Plus, I'll get to finally show off what it looks like staying at an inn. Guy just tells you good night, and then he kicks you out of the inn in the morning. Not that there's a day-night cycle in this game, but finish that lizard off, keep walking over this way. There's the basilisk enemy, and it looks like more like a frog. Like the basilisk of mythology, it can turn you into stone if it touches you. Stone is a status ailment that will just disappear with time, so it's like the Moogle status ailment. If you have a soft potion, you can use that to heal you. Or you can use your heal magic. I usually just let it run out of time, so. You can still swing your weapon, you just can't move when you have the stone status. So it's not that bad of a status. Unless you're like fighting a boss. You know, they have a lot of hit points and can run into you, so. But for like common enemies, they only take like a few hits. If you're stuck in place, you just keep swinging your weapon and maybe knock them back or defeat them before they can run back and damage you. So the desert's kind of big, but it's it's kind of annoying because most of the screens kind of look the same. They're just desert with rock around them. So here's a interesting oasis. That's where the next dungeon is. The entrance to the next dungeon, but you have to do something special to open up the dungeon. And we'll learn more about that when we get to Jad. Jad, we were told, is on the north end of this desert. So the desert's pretty big, so we get a lot of good experience just running around fighting the enemies, because by the time you get back to a screen, you'll probably pass through 4 or 5 screens and the enemies will reset. So I got to turn to stone there for a little bit, but like I said, it wears off with time, and it doesn't really damage you that much, so. Here's the back one. Here's the beginning where we were. Just going through all these different screens. As you can see, the screens look very similar, and the enemies are pretty much the same, so. Just thinks that we're right-handed there, and the spear can't hit that guy from the side. It looks like all these enemies are immune to fire, so we're just gonna have to sneak around the little oasis here and finish off with our spear. So these guys are dropping rubies. Rubies are only 100 gold, so they sell for less gold than the gold bag that you get. Just weird considering that you get the rubies later than you get the gold bag. But yeah, no point in those items other than just like I said for selling them for money. Same thing with the fang. If you get a bunch of fangs, you only need one of them to get the clue. Any excess fangs you have, you can just just sell them for money. Just gonna eat that candy real quick here, because we're about to get poisoned. If we try to go this way, it's the poison gas, and we're kicked out, and we get the poison status inflicted on us. So we're gonna have to find some way to get rid of all that poison. And we need to heal ourselves up here. Just pull up my cure spell, use that. Finish off these enemies again. And Jad is in basically the northwest corner of the desert, so we're going to start heading there first. We're going to start heading there, but first, before we go there, we're going to head over to the west, because there's a magic shop. It doesn't sell magic. I know the person said there's going to be the ice book in the desert. This is like, it sells items just like a regular item store, but it sells like magic-based items. So, flames in Blizzard, Flame Blaze, cast like the fire spell, different fire spells blaze a little bit stronger. And then there's also some that says like a Blizzard spell you can get, but they don't sell you that here right now, because then you could potentially skip getting the ice book that you need to solve some puzzles. So, but eventually there'll be a place you can buy Blizzard, or enemies will drop an item that replicates the Blizzard spell. We don't need any of those X-Ethers yet. We barely use the Ethers we have, so... Even though we are using a lot of magic, we don't, we seem to be getting levels pretty good, and our levels, like I said, refill on MP and hit points. So there we got that Fang. We'll see when we get to Jad. There's a character that says like, hey, give me some Fang, give me a bag of Fang and I'll tell you a clue. It's one of the more notorious clues in this game. A lot of people say they have some trouble with this part. I think I got this game after, I saw about it in Nintendo Power, and I think in Nintendo Power was one of the questions that somebody asked, like, what does this clue mean? So, when I first played this game, I knew what I had to do, but I guess for some people it was a little tricky, so once again we get the stone status. Okay, there's Basilisks are actually weak to fire. We can actually defeat them with fire. Push out the scorpion here. Quite a bit of hit points there. And Jad is to the north there, but we're going to head over this way. I'm just going to get a little preview of like an area here. So we have another one of these docks here. Eventually we're going to get a mode to cross the water. But until then, nothing doing. So this is like you think that like this is like a Zelda game. You think that there'd be probably something underneath one of those trees, like a hidden shop or something, or keep this a secret from everybody moblin who gives you money, but nothing there. So here's Jad. Like I said, the chocobo will wait outside when you go into dungeons or towns. So welcome to Jad. Davius rules this town. I hate it. Davius' mother is a Medusa. She is in a cave. It's by the oasis at the desert, but it's hard to find. I don't know how, but a boy knows how to get in. So there was 2 oases that we saw in the desert. Actually, no, there's 3 oases that we saw in the desert. Davius can cast a spell to change people and animals. Many people went to his place and never came back. Another dwarf from the sprites used in Final Fantasy IV. The Cave of Oasis, I'll tell you, for a bag of Fang. Yes. Here's the clue. Palm trees and 8. Got it? If we go to all the oases, they all have palm trees on them, but one in particular has palm trees that you can do a figure 8 walking around them. The other ones, the palm trees are either up against the oasis or on the side of the screen that you can't walk around them. So I guess that's your clue, that you go to the oasis with the palm trees where you can walk a figure 8 around them. And that's what you have to do, and that opens up the passageway to the Medusa's home. I'm gonna buy an extra set of keys. And I'm gonna continue to explore this town, which is actually pretty big. Northern Valley is filled with fatal poison gas. That guy almost looks like one of those Gorgons from Final Fantasy III. And he's not getting out of our way. We want to go over to the left there, but every time you touch somebody, they get into their dialogue. It could be annoying in these thin alleyways. To uncurse, you need a teardrop of Medusa. Okey-doke. And here in the upper left is Davius's mansion. He doesn't sound like a very nice guy. So, you may have noticed there's like no music. Davius don't like music. There's some weird parrot here. Better behave yourself in this town. Amanda? Oh yes, that girl. She went to the cave of Medusa. Nobody ever came back from there alive, though. Well, we gotta go find her because she has our pendant. We're gonna learn why there's no music here later on. But basically it has something to do with the poison gas. There used to be music playing here because they said that Lester was playing his harp here, but we haven't found Lester at all. There's a weapon shop. We want to head there. The poison gas appeared when the harp stopped. Yeah, so there's a little bit of info there. Maybe the harp was stopping the poison gas from appearing. See that huge mansion? That's Davius's house. Alright, thank you. So we gotta find, maybe if we find Lester, we can get him to play the harp again. That'll make the poison gas disappear. We couldn't find Lester in here. Maybe Amanda found him. We have some new equipment here. We want to buy a gold helmet and a gold shield. We don't want to buy the gold armor because we're going to get a free gold armor in the next dungeon. We do want to buy, like I said, the shield. That allows us to block the snake's projectiles from the next boss. And finally, we get a helmet that exceeds the power of the glitched bronze helmet. So we can finally get a new shiny helmet. Although I don't know why gold is such good armor, because gold is a very malleable element. It means it can be, shaped really easily. It's so yeah, it would be very good armor. But I guess they just they figure this costs more money than anything that. So maybe it's just mixed with something else. Maybe it's a different type of armor-plated gold. I don't know. That thief, that guy looks like the thief from Final Fantasy III. So another sprite lifted from the Final Fantasy series. So here we gotta talk with our Chocobo to get him to come with us. We don't really need to take him because we're gonna come back to Jade later on. So the Chocobo would wait for us there. If you want, you could take the Chocobo to the Medusa's Cave, the Oasis. But he won't enter the dungeon, like I said. The Chocobo doesn't follow you into dungeons or towns, so we could, like I said, just left him there, but I'll just take him with me. He might as well hang out with me. And like I said, he thinks we're his mom, so we'll leave him, we don't want him to get scared. We're gonna head down to that one oasis where there was some trees that were able to be walked around. And that scorpion just appeared out of nowhere and bounced back when we hit it and managed to poison us. Go! These are tough enemies in this Medusa cave, so it's important that you do get that new gold stuff. Help your defensive power. Shield, not so much, but it will be good against the boss, the Medusa that we're going to fight in the next dungeon. She like shoots snakes at you, and the snakes can be blocked by the shield, so. Make you think of Kid Icarus, when Medusa, she's the big boss in Kid Icarus. She shoots snakes out of her hair. But you have to shoot them with arrows, you can't use your shield. So here's the oasis. See those palm trees there? Just walk around them in a figure 8. And when you complete a figure 8, the cave door entrance will open up. So we're going to explore that cave in the next episode. Take care, have a good one. See you then. Bye.